Hello everyone, I want to welcome you back to this channel. As I've promised, I said I was going to talk about the family reunification for Ireland, and here is it. So in this series, we have part 1 to part 5, just to explain everything as a tutorial so you can understand what it entails, especially if you're a doctor or you're a nurse or you're a carer and you're looking at bringing your family into the country. You yourself, you're already in the country, but your family members, they want to join you. You don't really know what it entails, you don't know what steps to take, or you don't know about the documentation, and maybe you kind of have all these kind of ideas that you don't know what to do. This video is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. This is part 1, which is the introductory aspect. It's just an overview of what everything entails. Then later on, I'm going to go more into detail. So I want you and your family member to watch this as much as possible. When you watch it, you'll be able to understand the steps that it takes so that you can move your family without any mistakes into the country. So we're going to go and see the overview that it entails. So Highland Family Reunification for doctors, for nurses, for healthcare professionals, and for others as well. This video is going to be helpful. That's going to help you a lot. If you wish to come to Ireland to reside for longer than 3 months with your non-European family member, then you must, if you are a visa required national, be granted a long stay joint family visa to travel to Ireland. So if you are going to stay for more than 3 months, especially if maybe your spouse is a nurse, is a doctor or a healthcare professional, and you're looking at joining them, especially if you are one of the immediate family members, you're looking at joining them, definitely you are going to be staying for more than 3 months. So you need a long stay visa, which is joint family visa as well. So it's not going to be, there are 2 categories. There is a short stay which is less than 3 months. There is another one which is more than 3 months. So definitely you are choosing long stay joint family visa. So you need to understand that. Then before you apply for a long stay family visa, joint family visa, you need to understand that you can't just come into the country. You definitely need a sponsor. You need a sponsor. You need someone to sponsor you. So then after that, you need to know who is eligible to be a sponsor, because most people have family members abroad. Is your family member in Ireland eligible to be a sponsor, to sponsor you? So you really need to understand that, so you don't apply and the application is refused. So you need to know the purpose of the application for reunification. You need to know who may be sponsored and the eligibility requirements as well. You need to understand the requirements for eligibility. If your family member that is going to invite you into the country is eligible for that, you need to understand that. Then you also need to understand whether waiting periods apply before a person becomes eligible to sponsor. It depends on the category of the employment permit that your family member comes in with. As a nurse, for example, initially you have to come in with AWS, Atypical Working Scheme Visa. That AWS only allows you to stay for a period of 6 months. That is enough for you to fulfill all the conditions of your registration with the professional body, which is NNBI. So within 6 months you're expected to have done everything. It's not going to take that long. That is just an extra precautions, an extra coverage on your visa in case you have you get your assessment or adaptation period prolonged, or maybe you couldn't pass for whatever reason. So but within 6 months you are expected to do that. While coming into the country with AWS working scheme visa, you can't bring anyone into the country under that visa category. You can't bring anyone with that employment permit because the duration is short and you don't really have your stay yet. But after completing your registration period in Ireland, after successfully getting registered as a nurse, for example, then your employer is going to apply for critical skills permit for you. That critical skills employment permit covers a period of 1 year or 2 years. Most employers would sponsor you and pay for 2 years up front, and that critical skills permit, it's like green card in the US. That can move your family immediately. So that is the document. That is the document you need before your family can apply to join you. Before your family can apply to join you. So that's why you need to understand the waiting period. So for Ireland, for example, your family member is just coming into the country this week, and you want to join immediately. No, it doesn't work that way. So you need to know if a waiting period applies before someone becomes eligible to sponsor you. You need to understand that, and then you need to know the category of the employment permit they have as well. You need to know whether your sponsor must achieve a minimum level of earnings prior to being eligible to sponsor. It depends on the salary level. All those things are going to be weighed before you can apply for joint family visa. So it depends. For example, maybe a carer has to work for a period of months before the family can join. A nurse or a doctor they have access to immediate family reunification. So you need to understand those things as well. So as I said, this is an overview just to understand, give you a background what the process entails. You need to understand what a person who is granted a joint family visa may do in Ireland as well. Because you might just want to say, some people ask this question, say, when I come into the country to join my family member, can I start working immediately? Can I start schooling? Can I apply for this? Can I apply for that? So the permission that is going to be given to you is going to determine what you can do in the country. Most times it's going to be either stamp 1G, that you are eligible to work or study in Ireland. So that is always what it is, but it depends on the permission on your visa and the kind of job or work that the person that is sponsoring you is doing as well. So then you need to understand how dependency is measured when this is referred to in support of an application for family reunification. So how dependency is measured is if you are an immediate family member, or if you are someone very close to the person, if you are the child, or if you are the parent, or if you are a distant family member, things like that, because they will be put into consideration. So you need to understand how dependency is measured when this is referring to an application for family reunification as well. Then you also need to know that if you want to join a family member in Ireland, and if you are from outside the European country, you need to apply for the relevant permission. You need to apply for the relevant permission. So applying for joint family visa, you can apply immediately if the employment of the person that is sponsoring you, if it falls under certain categories. That is what I want to explain now in the next slide. So you can that means that if they have the documentation for that employment, and the document that they have carries one of those of this underlisted categories, then they can apply. You can apply immediately with their own documents. So you need to know what categories those are now. So category A is critical skills employment permit holder, which is for doctors, which is for nurses. So critical skills is that permit that your family member needs. Immediately you get that, you can send it to them, and they can use it to apply with other documents anyway, which you are going to see in the upcoming tutorials, how to get the correct documentation, how to draft letters correctly and stuff like that. So critical skills, if your employment falls under this, your family member could apply for visa, joint family visa immediately. And if they are applying in Ireland or anywhere from Europe, for example, that application for joint family visa is processed in 2 weeks, sometimes within 6 to 8 weeks. It depends on where they're applying from. Definitely, if you're applying from anywhere in Nigeria, there's been loads of delays in African countries, especially in Nigeria. If it's in Ghana, it's faster. If it's in other places, it's faster as well. But if your employment falls under critical skills category, then your family can join you immediately. You get that document. Then if your employment falls under investors, your family can join you immediately as well. Entrepreneurs, your family can join you immediately. Business permission holders, your family can join you immediately. Researchers, approved scholarship program students, their family members can join them in Ireland immediately as well. Then another thing you need to know is still under the same categories, intra-corporate transferees, their family members can also apply to join them immediately. PhD students, subject to conditions, that is PhD students that are not under social welfare payments, they are not relying on public funds in any way, then that means they are buoyant enough to cover their own expenses and the expenses of whoever they are bringing into the country. All those things are going to be evaluated when they are checking their applications for joint family visas. So intra-corporate transferees, they are those people with employment passes and maybe they've worked for a company for at least 1 year and then they get to be transferred to another branch of the same company or an affiliate or a subsidiary, things like that. That's category A. Those people too, their family members could join them immediately. So it doesn't have to be only nurses and doctors or carers or healthcare professionals. There are certain categories of employment permits, people that they have access to immediate family reunification in Ireland. Like I've listed, full-time non-locum doctors in employment, doctors that are employed, they can also they have to send invitation to their family members to join them immediately, especially in terms of dependency, their immediate family, they can join them immediately. Minister of religion as well, they are entitled to family reunification. Now there is another category that their family members can join them after 1 year in the country. So people that have that are under category B, they are non-critical skills employment permit holders. So under the employment permit, there is general employment permit for like carers, they fall under that category, and maybe business people. It depends on the work they are doing. Just other forms of professions, they mostly fall under general employment permit. So they must have stayed in the country and they must have worked in the country for 1 good year before their family members their immediate family members can apply to join them in Ireland. But if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, your family members can join you immediately. It's only visa processing times that could be a delay. There could be a significant delay. Then another thing you need to consider is what your relationship is to the non-European family member that you want to join. As a family member yourself, are you a spouse? Are you a dependent child? Are you a grandparent? Or who are you in terms of joining your family member in Ireland? So who are you? Now you need to understand: are you the de facto partner? If you are the de facto partner, or a dependent child of a critical skills employment permit holder, or a researcher on a hosting agreement, then you may apply to join your family member in Ireland under this joint family visa. Under joint family visa, you can apply to that. I will explain to you what a de facto partner means in few seconds. Then if you are the spouse or civil partner, then you can also apply under the category that says joint family visas, either short stay or long stay. But if you are coming permanently, then you are using long stay joint family visa. So if you are the spouse, that's under marriage agreement, under vows and other laws, or civil partner of a non-European person, then you are eligible to join them in Ireland under joint family visas. Then the de facto partner, if you are a de facto partner, that literally means that you are not married to the person, or you are not in any civil partnership with that person, but you've been living with that person for some time, and it's a cohabiting relationship. Some people, they live together for so many years, but they haven't paid any vows on them. Their partner haven't fulfilled any legal obligations to show that maybe they are married or they are connected in any way, but they are cohabiting. Some may even have kids for each other. So that means de facto partners. Under laws, under Irish laws, you could still use joint family visas, joint family visa, if you meet up with other criteria that I'm going to show you in a second as well. Then you and your partner are in a mutual and committed relationship like marriage or civil partnership in practice, but not in law. So the criteria for you to join as a de facto partner is that you and your partner, you have been in a mutual relationship, you have been in a committed relationship. It's like marriage, but not, you are not married. It's like civil partnership, but you don't have any legal paperwork. And I will show you what civil partnership means as well. So you have been cohabiting. You have to meet up with that criteria that you've been cohabiting for at least 2 years. Definitely you would show evidences for all these things I'm mentioning to the visa officer so that they can grant your visa. You need evidences as well. Then you and your partner have been cohabiting here for at least 2 years. And another thing is your relationship is not fake. It's not fake, it's continuous, and you are not related to each other by family or by blood. So they have to evaluate those things, that you are cohabiting partners, that it's de facto partners. You need to understand that as well. And what is your relationship? What is your relationship to that the non-European family member that you want to join? If you are the child, then you have no you're not going to have any issues. You can apply to join your parents in Ireland. Always know this, that even if you're in the country and your family members are in maybe African countries or any other place in the world, and they want to join you, they could come with kids. Your kids, you definitely need proofs for that as well. So children can apply to join their parents in Ireland, definitely. Then you are the parents. Your parents also dependent parents can also apply to join you, but there are also policies, a separate policy for that. There is a separate policy for that. I'm going to, in this document, in these tutorials, I will concentrate more on the immediate family, which is your spouse and your kids. Then other family member, the non-nuclear family member of a European or non-Swiss national residing in Ireland may be eligible to join their family member as well. Other family members, there is a separate policy for that. I'm not going to go into that in this. Then if you are the spouse or civil partner, this is your husband, or maybe you are the wife, or you are the civil partner, then of a minister of religion, or of a person that is holding critical skills permit, then you can apply to join your family in the country as well. You can apply to join your family. Then I want you to know that under this, for civil partnership, that really means that most times that law was done to protect people of same sex that are getting married. Because of approvals, they can't really give the vows and stuff like that, but they have a law to protect them. That is like civil partnership. They are in an agreement, a legal agreement, that they are partners, but they are not under vows. So that is why that is the difference between civil partnership and marriage. Some people have the civil partnership document, but they are not married. They are not legally married. So on the law, they could also apply for visa under joint family categories. Then before you begin, you need to identify the visa type. You need to choose the right visa for your trip. Now, under this, you have an idea of what you're going to do. The first step is to determine which visa type you need. Is it a long stay visa? Is it a short stay visa? Is it a transit one? Maybe you're checking up on your family, but you don't want to stay. Or is it any kind of visa as well? And you need to check if you're eligible for that. And you also need to know if your sponsor is eligible for that as well, to give you all the things you need. Then you need to know the documents that you will have to submit along your application. I'm going to do that in another tutorial in details, so you get the documents correctly and you don't make any mistakes. And you need to know how long the application might take, which I will also explain as we go along, and the fees that you need to pay. Each application must comply with the guidelines applicable for that category of visa that you are applying for. Then another thing, on the identification of visa type, you need to know what short stay visas are. So visit visa is a short stay visa, business or conference visa is a short stay visa, study visas, research visas, or exam visas, those things are short stay visas. So under short stay visas, your family members can't really join you in Ireland except you have, or you fulfill other documentation or protocols, you have them in place. So medical treatment is a short stay visa as well. Then long stay visa, under long stay we have study, research, or exam, especially if the study is going to take 1 year or 2 years. I've explained earlier on how a PhD student that is not subjected to public funds in any way can actually be a sponsor for their family members to join them in the country as well. So employment visas, especially when the employment, for that employment to be categorized as long stay visa, it has to have 2 years contract. It has to have a proof of contract for at least 2 years, which most nursing jobs would have, most doctor jobs, or most carers jobs as well. So transit visa is another visa that maybe you're not staying in that country, but you need an access because you are not a citizen. You are not a citizen of any European nation, but you will definitely stop over, maybe sleep for 1 day before you continue your journey. So that is transit visa. So under these categories, we are talking about joint family, long stay visa, joint family. Now, once you are ready to begin the application, you are ready to join your family in Ireland, or as a nurse, as a doctor, as a carer, you want to bring your family members over, the first thing they need to do is to go to the Ireland visa website through online application link. Then they need to fill the application online, which is, I'm showing the link on your screen, visas.inis.gov.ie. Most times visa processing websites in your home countries, they already have the links embedded in their website. So when you visit those, then you can see apply now. But always note this at the back of your mind, that you can't fill the form in the visa centers. You need to fill that application online before you even go to the visa center. So you need to fill that online, and then you print the completed form and bring it with you to the Ireland Visa Application Center in your home country for submission. So you first need to fill that online. You can do that at home. You can do that in any place where there is good internet. Make sure you're not using your phone. Make sure you're using a laptop. Make sure you're using an upgraded browser like Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, so that all pages can load correctly. And then print the form and bring it. Even if you have someone sponsoring you or someone helping you to do that, then fill it correctly, and they need to print that form out, and then you need to print it out for you to take to the visa submission center. So after doing that, you filled your form online. You're not going to make payment on the site. You have the option to make payment at the visa centers, because most of the visa centers, they have a separate way of making the payment. So you can do the form, print the form online, then print it out in PDF and print it along and bring it with you. Then on that same website, you need to book an appointment, make an appointment. You would see slots for booking an appointment, because after filling the form, you need to bring that form and other supporting documents to the centers for them to have your fingerprints taken, which is biometrics information taken, and they will take that as well, and your photo. You need to do that. So after you've booked your appointment, you're going to receive an appointment confirmation email in your email address, applicant's email address. Then you will also receive a letter of appointment. Those confirmations and the letter of appointment booking, you need to print them out. Otherwise, you're not going to be admitted into that visa center when you go there. So you need to make sure that you have that sorted out. Then if you are a part of a family, or you're in a group, you will have to book individual appointment for each member of the family or group. For example, if I'm in Ireland, or maybe my husband and my kids, they are back home in Nigeria, for example, and they want to join me in the country. So it's not only going to be one person, and maybe because you've mentioned the kids' names in the form of one person and then you ignore. So for those kids, regardless of their age, you still need to book separate appointments for them. You still need to fill separate application forms for them. So you are filling 3 forms in that case, and then you're printing 3 forms out. You are booking their appointment. You're getting 3 confirmation emails, and you're getting 3 letters of appointment. That is what that entails. So each person needs to be taken as individuals. Then when you visit the visa application center, attend your scheduled appointments on time, you will have to submit that application form with alongside other documents. So I'm going to show you the order of submission later on as we go in the tutorials, the documents, the correct document that you need to bring along with you as well. So it's usually cash payment at those application centers. They might request for additional payment for courier services because they need to send your originals back to you, and even your passport that you use to apply for visa. If it is approved and stamped with the visa, they will have to courier that back to you as well. So you need a good address when you are filling those, not an address that is not traceable, a place where you know that no document can really get lost. So you need to do that as well. And you need to pay for the cost of courier services. Sometimes the application center, they have additional charges, so they always take for those reasons they always take cash payments anyway, and then they can make payment on your behalf to the embassy in Ireland. Then once you have made your application, you need to pay that visa fee. You need to pay that. Everything is always charged together at the center, so you don't need to worry about that. It's going to be cash payment with local currency, so you don't need to play, do I have to get euros, do I have to get visas, dollars, do I have to get this and that. So all you need to do is to download the form to print, bring your appointment booking confirmation and the email you have received, and bring your payment and all your supporting documents as well, so they can take your cash payment down. Single entry visa, the official cost is 60 euros single entry, and multiple entry visa cost 100 euros. Current transit visa fee is 25 euros. So if your family members are coming and they need to apply for visas, they need to go for single entry visas, which is because it's their first time of applying, joint family, long stay, and single entry. So for each visa cost, that means you are paying for 3 people. If you have 2 kids and your spouse is coming, it's going to be 3. If you have 4 kids with your spouse, it's going to be 5. You're going to pay that times 5, so you need to make sure you understand that as well, because each person is you are making separate applications for each person, so you need to get that and put that into consideration. So applications that are submitted in Ghana and in Nigeria, they can be through VFS. So VFS is the official embassy of Ireland processing office in African countries. They are in Nigeria, they are in Ghana as well. So when you go to VFS offices, they have two. For example, in Nigeria, they have 2 locations. They are in Lagos and they are in Abuja as well. So that is the place where you're going to get your biometrics done. That is it's on their website that you're going to make the apply for visa, and it's on their website you're going to make your booking for appointments as well. And they will make you to pay in local currency the equivalent of 60 euros for single entry or 100 euros for a multi-entry visa. So, and with additional charges and courier services as well. So those in Senegal and in Ivory Coast, they need to send their application by courier. They need to send the application because there are no VFS offices in those locations. If you're in Ivory Coast, if you are in Senegal, then you need to send your application through courier. Then you would need to contact the office to know how they can arrange your payment, the payment of your application fees as well. Always put it at the back of your mind that those visa fees are non-refundable, and the VFS offices, they always have their own extra charges. So it's not like you're going to go online and say maybe 60 euros times whatever it is, or the official rate is not going to be the official rate. They have extra charges. A lot of things are put into consideration. Just make sure you have extras in backup just in case. And another thing is that The Embassy of Ireland in Nigeria, that office currently processes large number of visa applications, so it's always better that before you travel, so make sure you have submitted your application at least 2 months prior to your intended travel date. Make sure you have submitted that 2 months prior, so that you don't get disappointed anyway because of delays and stuff like that. So the first step, and just another overview, the first step in the application process is to complete that online application. Then you get your supporting documents ready, and finally you make sure that you book an appointment either to submit in Nigeria or in Ghana. People have said that Ghana, it's faster in Ghana than in Nigeria, anyway, whichever is convenient for you. And Visa Facilitation Services Global, which is the VFS, the office for Ireland Head Embassy, are in Nigeria and in Ghana. In Nigeria, they have 2 sites. One is in Lagos. I'm going to show you the address in a second as well. One is in Lagos and one is in Abuja. So those in Ivory Coast, those in Senegal, they have to send their applications by courier. And always note as well, Mondays to Thursday, that office opens from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But after 2 p.m., you can't go in to submit anything or to make any biometrics, because they always close the door at 2 p.m. So you need to arrive earlier than that, just to make sure that everything is sorted out in time. Another thing that you need to know is that the additional charges could be it depends on whatever it is. It depends. It could have changed. It's always make sure you have at least extra 20 to 25k for each person that is applying, just for miscellaneous anyway, just so that you don't get shocked eventually when you get to the submission office. So the visa fee is an administration fee which covers the cost of processing your application, and that fee can't be refunded, provided if your application is refused or withdrawn. It can't be refunded. Then another thing, there are nationalities exempt from paying the visa fees. People in Bosnia, they don't have to pay visa fees, even if it's 5 people traveling as a family member of one person. If it's 10 people traveling, they don't. Even if it's just one person, people from Bosnia, they are exempt from paying the visa fees. People from Morocco, people from Cote d'Ivoire, people from Peru, people from Ecuador, people from North Macedonia, Indonesia, and Serbia, they are not to pay under Irish laws. They are not to pay. I don't know why that is like that anyway. Nigeria is not part of them. Ghana is not part of them. So Jamaica, Sri Lanka, Kosovo, Tunisia, Kyrgyzstan, Uganda, Montenegro, and Zambians, if you are originally from the countries I've listed, you are not to pay. You are exempt from the visa fee. So when you just go, you make your applications, but you might be paying maybe extra charges for courier services and stuff like that, but you are not going to pay the visa fees anyway. Now, there are family members of Irish citizens that are not to pay visa fees as well. Maybe the family member you're joining in Ireland has already become an Irish citizen. So if you are the spouse, you are exempt from paying that fee. If you are a separated spouse as well, though they are going to confirm, you are not to pay the visa fees as well, provided the person you are joining in is an Irish citizen and you are the spouse. Widower, child under 18, adopted child, they are exempt from paying visa fees as well. Spouse registered as a student or in employment, that's for Irish citizens, they are exempt from paying the visa fees as well. And there are people under the Free Movement Directive. For example, your family members are joining you in Ireland, but your family members, they are citizens. Your family members are citizens of other European countries already. Maybe they are coming in from the UK, they are coming in from Spain, they are coming in from they are not in African countries. Then definitely, if they are spouses or children under 21, or children of the spouse under 20, or adopted children, things like that, or dependent parents, they are also exempt from paying visa fees as well. Then another thing you need to know is that dependent parents of the spouse or the dependent family members there will be documentation. There are policies for that. Yeah, they are exempt. Or dependent family members, they are exempt from paying the visa fees as well. Or if the family member joining you in Ireland, they are applying for joint family visas, but they are holders of diplomatic or service or official passports, or they are program refugees, then they don't need to pay visa fees. Another thing is, after making your application, after taking the biometrics successfully, there is a need to track your application. Most visa centers have that. They have that tracking way of you getting informed with your application. So you need to ask them if they have those services for tracking like that. You need to follow them up and ask them, so that you can receive email updates when a decision has been taken on your document, or maybe when your passport is going to arrive, maybe when it's been processed, or maybe there is any notice. They could put incomplete, they could put anything, or maybe they are processing that, or maybe you need to supply additional information. You can track it and really know what is happening with your application. So you need to do that. So check whether that service is available in the visa application center that you are applying. Always check that. So sometimes online you can also track your visa application status online by using the reference number present on the invoice or receipt issued by the visa application center, along with your last name, to access that service. So there is always a reference number. Even the reference number is issued on the application form automatically. You have a reference number, you should keep that as well. Then eventually, for collection of your passport, they will send that to you by courier, registered post. They are not going to give it by hand at the office. It's sent directly from the embassy to the address that you have used. So you need to make sure that your address is correct, and wherever you're using, make sure that person can receive your document and really give you a call that they have received the packet for you, and then you can come and pick it up. And as explained, you're going to be required to pay courier fee while submitting your application at the visa application center. Now, how long it will take depends on the volumes of applications that they have in visa processing offices. So applications are processed in date order. Like today, if there is a tracking service in that application center, they will tell you that as of today, the date they have reached is maybe again 2 months ago or something like that, or maybe 1 month ago. They can give you the date that they've stopped at maybe applications from June 2nd or so, and we are in July already. They can give you the order of processing that they are dealing with. And then it's advisable that you don't make any purchase of travel tickets before you know the outcome of your visa application. Don't make any travel purchase, so that you don't waste your funds anyway, so that you don't waste the money for your tickets. You can always wait until your visa is out before you can get on board, or maybe before you can book your flight. Processing times can vary between countries. They can also vary during high volume periods during the year. For example, if your family members are joining you during the summer period, they always have loads of applications then. Or maybe it's December, for example, people traveling for holidays, people going to and fro. So it depends on the time that you are applying. Your family members are applying for the visa. It depends on the volume of application they have then. Some countries, their applications are sent because they don't have embassies of Ireland in their countries. The applications are sent to Dublin, and in that case, they can really track the processing of their visa by going online on the Irish immigration website and checking visa decisions. So when they check visa decisions, you will see that the dates where they have reached at the moment, and then you can be able to follow up. So the application may also take longer if necessary documentations haven't been submitted, or if there is a mistake in one document, or if there is something incomplete, or if they discover that there are criminal convictions that weren't disclosed. Applications could really take forever because they have to send it back and tell you to provide this or that, and then before it gets back to them and stuff, the application could be delayed as well. So visa processing times for visa office or the embassy that is handling your application, you can check on their website if they have tracking services, or if it's been sent to Ireland or to the Dublin embassy, then there is a link, an open link on the visa decisions page that you can see, Irish immigration website, that you can see where that application has reached at the moment. You would be able to track that. Now, I said it earlier on that in Nigeria that they have 2 offices for VFS Global. VFS is the company handling all forms of visa processing for Ireland. So Lagos, in Lagos, the office is displayed on your screen. It's in Lekki Phase 1, and if you are in Abuja, there is another office as well, which I'm going to show you in a second. The working hours for the Lagos office is 8 to 2 for submission. Collection is via courier only, which is UPS, and they work Mondays to Fridays. So if you are submitting or doing biometrics, you need to get in there before 2 p.m. on weekdays. And that is the address if you're going to start your application that is being displayed on your screen. That is the address if you're going to make, after filling the online form and you want to go back and then book an appointment for submission, then you need it. Everything is on that website as well. Then the helpline is being displayed on your screen. If you need help or if you have any inquiries, you can ask them also. So the one in Abuja, I'm displaying that on your screen. It's in CBD, Central Business District, Abuja, Nigeria. So Sterling Bank Plaza, 3rd floor, plot 1083. That is VFS Global, the office, the Abuja office. So payment is by POS only. They might charge additional fees for their services and stuff like that. So you need to be mindful of that. Now, this is part 1. Like I said, this part 1 was about introduction, just to let you know about the sponsorship, about the categories of people who are eligible to move their family members immediately, and those who are eligible to move their family members after 1 year, and people and the steps, things that you need to do. The website you can visit, the fees, an overview of the fees you are paying, an overview of the steps it involves, supporting documentation and stuff like that, and more to come. In the second part of this series, I'm going to talk about the supporting documents in details, what you need to do in details, so that your family member that is sponsoring you won't make mistake, and you as a family member joining someone in Ireland, you are not going to make mistakes as well. And then in part 3, I'm going to talk about the photograph and the requirements for that, and risks, mistakes, common errors that people make, that always make their applications to keep going back and forth. And in part 4, I'm going to talk about how to draft letters correctly. For example, you need a letter of invitation from your family member in Ireland that is sponsoring you. You as a family member of someone, and you go into the country, you're planning to move and join your family member, you need a letter of application. And if you are carrying kids, if you're going to be moving with your kids, there is a letter of consent required. So I'm going to be showing you that draft, my draft anyway, and samples that you can use that would help you so that you draft those correctly. And part 5, I'm going to be explaining to you the checklist. After getting all your documents, the final checklist you need to go through so that you haven't omitted anything, and then the correct way, the correct order of organizing your documents for submission, and when your family members, they've arrived in Ireland, what they can do, what they can't do. I'm going to be talking about that in part 5. So thank you so much. The channel name is Adebusola Owokole. Don't forget to give a like to this video. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you haven't done so, turn on your notification bell as well, so that when I upload the next tutorial series, the tutorial that is part 2 to 5, you won't miss out on that. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.